All right, so today's video is going to be a little bit different. We'll probably start doing these kind of videos on Saturdays and on Sundays. Our admin Jay, on our admin on the Discord server, who's on there posting regular great information and stuff like that. Great guy. He will be doing a video series on like beginning information or tutorials on trading information. We'll be posting those on Sundays, probably on a regular basis now, as well as some other things. So this would be a little bit different than our normal indicator video. And so the background on what we're doing here is basically about a month ago, I got into kind of playing around with options again. I've played around with options before, but they can get quite difficult, very challenging when it comes to trading options, because there's just so much to options. They can be very overwhelming. And acquaintance of mine had mentioned that they were trading just basic options of the S&P 500. And I'm not going to go real in-depth into what options are or exactly how they work. But basically, a very short version is that they allow you to kind of capitalize on what we would consider to be like leverage or margin, whereas a lot of Forex, excuse me, a lot of Forex brokers will allow margin, and some crypto brokers will also allow margin depending on where you are. It's really hard to get a margin account when it comes to like kind of like the normal stock market, like American stock market and stuff like that. Generally, you have to have, I think it's a $25,000 account to get any kind of margin and to be able to short stocks and so on. A way to get around that is to use options. And so you're not actually buying or excuse me, you're not actually buying or shorting the stock, you're buying contracts. And so it's a little bit different. Again, I'm not going to go into a lot of detail into that. If you want to know more about just basic options, you can look that up, or I might do a video on it. And I'm going to try to go through this video rather quick here. So you'll have to excuse me if I'm kind of speeding through this. I don't want this video to be too long, but like I said, about a month ago, acquaintance of mine was talking about using just basic options on the S&P 500, and I developed a little strategy and started playing around with it. Started a paper trading account with Webull, a really great paper trading for options. I'll put a referral link down in the description below if you want to sign up for an account. You'll get some free stuff. I'll get some free stuff. It'll be cool. But beyond that, I started, like I said, with just a small account, just $1,000, kind of more as a joke than anything. I wasn't really sure where it was going to go, but to my surprise, I started growing the account rather quickly day after day. After about 3 weeks, you can see here that I had hit around 160% growth in the account. So I had taken that $1,000 and made $1,626 with it in a matter of like about 3 weeks, like I said. And I was really surprised by that. Surprised more by the fact that it was something new, trading options. It was an S&P 500, which I've never really traded before. And you know, all in all, just kind of a new experience, a new trading system, one that I had just basically developed and back tested with really good results. And so to my surprise, it was working out really well, and I thought this would be a great opportunity to display or document this to the Discord and to the patrons. So I, starting this last week here, started posting each trade that I was taking to the patrons for them to be able to follow along, and kind of documenting, like I said, as I was going along, kind of what I was doing and so on. Again, so that way the patrons could follow along and really kind of get a good idea of, you know, what we're doing. And it's not just me that posts in the Patreon only channel. We have quite a few great members that are also posting a lot of great stuff, and so I highly recommend it. But again, you can see a screenshot here. This is about 3 weeks in. Let's go back kind of to the beginning here. So you can see here that I started with the $1,000. This is the first day. I hadn't closed out this position here. I was kind of holding one contract. So basically what I've been doing is buying 3 contracts and having a first take profit. Once I hit that, I get rid of the 2 contracts, sell out of those, and hold one until I get an exit signal that I feel like justifies exiting that one last contract. And generally, again, I'm not going to go into a lot of details, but I'm buying contracts that are 3 or 4 in the money, and so that way it kind of balances out the downside with the upside a little bit, and that helps with that. Otherwise, if you buy them too close to the current price, then what happens is that if a contract goes in the negative, then it ends up eating up a lot of your profit that you may have gained in that first take profit. And so you can see here the first day, I didn't close out with quite that amount, I don't think. I don't remember exactly what it was. Second day, that was definitely where I closed out there. The third day, a small loss there, which is going to happen. There's going to be losing days, and in the back testing, there were small red days, and then there were some big red days. They weren't that often, but it did happen every now and then. And so, like I said, I was cruising along really nicely here and making some good profits, taking some small red days, but overall doing really well and very satisfied with the way the account was growing. And then, like I said, this week I did start posting the exact entries and stuff that I was taking to the Patreon only channel for the patrons to be able to see. And so what we'll do is just go ahead and dig back into kind of the beginning of this week, and we'll run through the trades real quick. This week I did take a really nasty red day, the first big red day that I have had, but I believe that the account's going to recover really nicely. The way the back testing, the way the trading has been taking place is almost identical to the back testing, and so very confident in what it will be able to achieve. So let's jump over to the Discord here. Let's just go ahead and scroll back some here, and again you can see let's see, that was yesterday, but you can see that this is a Patreon only channel. This is a nice sneak peek. You can see all this wonderful information that's being posted to the patrons. It's super cheap. It's only $9 a month. I highly recommend it. We have Jay's posting on a regular basis. Sasquatch is posting regular Forex entries and trade analysis. I'm posting stuff as far as trade analysis for the S&P 500 and options, and we're just giving general kind of information and advice into it. And so let's see, that's the second right there. We probably won't go through all those, but let's see here. Sorry, I have to scroll way back farther than I thought I would. So that, I believe, this was the end of the first day right here. So no, actually it wasn't. I think that's a little... Oh no, I didn't actually have that, since this is the first week here. That was Monday that I was showing right there. So Monday I didn't have much time to trade, so I only took this one trade right here. Calls, you can see right here that price opened right here. It pushed up really nicely, started to pull back right here. I thought it was going to make a run for the downside, but it started to curl back up. Right about here, I jumped on some calls. Those are basically a long position, and I started to ride it up, got my first take profit, and then exited the last contract there at a reasonable price. If I hadn't gotten busy, I would have definitely taken a short position, or what they call puts, over here on this side, and would have gotten a nice bump there as well. Moving on to Tuesday. This is Tuesday here. Let's see. Nope, that's still the first. That's still the first there. Overnight trade analysis by Sasquatch on the Forex market. Again, really, really great stuff. Trade analysis by Jay here on futures and different things there. Let's see if we can't find. Here we go. So this is the first entry that I had on Tuesday. Right here, I jumped on the put or the downside right here, a little premature on this. definitely shouldn't have jumped in there, and the market bit me real quick as it immediately spiked back up. And the trick to what I'm doing here is to try to get out as quick as possible, and of course let the winning trades run as far as they can. Then I jumped on puts again here. As it moved up here, I thought maybe we would get a push to the top side, jump on some calls, but it didn't, and so it started to roll back over and push down here. Jumped on some more puts and got a nice wick right here, was able to get our first take profit, and then it started to push back up and I exited the rest of the position at a reasonable price. Then I jumped on some calls right here as it started to break above these levels right here and make a run for the top side. Ran up really nice, got me to my first take profit, and got out the second little bit, or the last one contract, at a really decent price. I wish I had jumped back in right here, but I dropped the ball on that one and got a little bit busy. Missed that entry and wasn't going to chase the market. Had I jumped on that, it would have given me a really nice another trade there, really bumped it up. As price started to roll over here, you can see that it started to push down right here, and I went ahead and jumped on the downside on those puts, writing that down right there, and also getting to a really nice take profit and exiting all my positions there on the day. Let's see if I threw up. Let's see, so far so good. Let's see, that one right there. Just trying to see if I threw out the end of the day total on that one. I don't think I did, but I do believe that we were on, yeah, I think it was this one right here. I think was on Tuesday, if I'm not mistaken. And then let's see, this day took place right here, and this was one of the first large red days that I had taken. And so I jumped on some calls right here. You can see that price was pushing up, it came back down here, started to roll itself kind of right here and back to the upside. I thought we were going to make a nice push run for the top side there, but unfortunately, as soon as I entered into those calls, the long position, it immediately spiked back down and I jumped out at a full loss. It then broke these levels right here to the downside. I thought we were going to make a run for new lows here, so I jumped on some puts and immediately got stopped out before we then flipped back over here as we started to break above these levels for a long position. That ran up really nicely right there, but we were so far in the red by the time I exited out of that position that I was still down quite a bit. Had I held on right here, not exited as prematurely as I did, then we would have probably been right at break even or a little bit in the green on that day. But as you can see, I believe it was this day right here that we actually ended up a decent amount in the red. And so we weren't able to recover as much as we had lost in the beginning. Then this was the big red day right here, a big red nasty day. So basically the market didn't move hardly at all. It just stayed right in this real tight range, bouncing up and down. Every time I thought it was breaking out to one side or another, it just kept eating me up, and I kept taking full stop on each of these positions. Each of these orange markers is a full stop. I was able to sneak in a couple nice winning trades, but it wasn't enough to really eat down what I had lost. And so the end of the day, I had taken a really big hammer to the account right there. But even at that, in hindsight, looking back at it, in 3 weeks, almost a month at this point, I had grown the account by 85%. And that is a really astounding thing to do. There are people who start these small account challenges and do well better than that. I'm not saying that it's an amazing thing or an amazing feat, but it is by no means an easy feat to achieve, of an 85% increase up to 160% at the top there. Then we had today, and this is what made me kind of excited to see what the account was going to do, because we had a decent little recovery right here. We ended up today at 293, so we bumped it back up again, actually ending this week putting us back over that 100% gain for the entire month. You see that we had a nice push right here, market gap down, nice push up, got us to our take profit, a nice push down also to our take profit. You can just kind of see how price is rolling over and pushing down, jumping on the momentum, pushing up right here, filling that gap, riding that momentum. Jumped in right here, kind of got a fake out, then jumped in here, rode that momentum back to the upside. And so what I'll probably do is, like I said, each week we'll probably do a weekly recap on Saturdays like this. I'm going to keep growing this account, seeing how far we can take it from that $1,000 on. Not really sure where it's going to be able to go. I mean, to be real honest with you, it is super dangerous trading an account like this. This is definitely a strategy that you could easily start with $5,000 or even $10,000 and I believe do really well with. But there's such a tight margin for error here that you can get in trouble really super fast with options because you're risking so much that days like yesterday could really, or I guess I should say days like Thursday could be very detrimental to the account if you take too many of those in a row. Now again, in the back testing, those days did show up, but they were few and far between. The rest of the days did really well and recovered really nicely. So I have a lot of hope for where we're going to be able to take this, and I think that you guys will be able to all really kind of capitalize on this knowledge and understanding of what I'm doing. And if you follow us along in the Patreon only channel, then you will get even more information to exactly what we're doing, more insight into exactly my thought process of things, and being able to follow the other traders. The Sasquatch, he's a prop trader for Forex, does wonderful. Jay trading his stuff, and some of the few other traders. And so again, I highly recommend it. I thought you guys would really enjoy seeing some of this live trading and stuff like that that's taking place, and these live trades that we're actually calling out for the patrons to be able to kind of follow along with. So, all right, that's it. This video is getting too long. I'm going to cut it here. Like I said, tomorrow's video will be Jay's first introduction, beginner's introduction into trading. It'll be some really great stuff. A lot of good insight into what he's doing as well. And then from there on Monday, we'll get back to the normal indicator testing videos. And I'll probably also be doing just a small, like 5-minute, 10-minute daily recap on the trading day. And so that's it. I hope you guys enjoy this, and we'll see you on the next video.